What's good, everyone? Hello there. Hey, Kiriko, how are you doing? I feel like she doesn't want that. Yeah, okay, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Do not touch the keyboard, please. I don't want you to close OBS or something. How are you guys doing? Think I got the soundtrack mod to work for Trails from Zero? Great, I think. Yeah, Felix, thank you. Nice bot. I'll see you around. Yeah. More Higurashi. It's been a week. I'm excited, honestly, because I personally really liked where the game was going. Even though it was a bit long, we got some really cool lore and reveals, and I think we're getting to the point where somebody will probably not live for much longer, so yeah. Hi there, Jay. How are you? What is wrong, Kiriko? If you want to be crazy, please do it not now. Yeah, okay, leave the room, that's great. Okay. Everything seems to work. Sound should be fine-ish. Maybe it's a bit quiet, I don't know, maybe I should turn it up a little, like that. No, yeah, okay. And wait, how quiet did it get? Oh, it just stopped. Alright, I'll just grab my chat real quick. Yep, there we are. And I hope you guys are ready, because I am. And Kiriko is as well, even though you probably can't hear her, but she's meowing like crazy. What do you want? Why do you always go crazy when I start streaming? Is there like an actual reason for that? Do you react to the camera being on? No? You can't just... Okay. Let's go. Let's go. I was on my way back home. Oh, this is starting very well. Awesome. But it's night, and what was the last thing that happened? I don't even remember. We had the Nagashi festival, and then it was the next day, and Mion was acting a bit weird, I think. And now he's on his way back home from school. Is that it? I think it probably is that. Hey there, Schiff. How are you doing? I'm fine, mostly. I didn't sleep that well, so I'm having a bit of a neck pain, but that's why I'm using my sit-stand desk, and I'm standing right now to hopefully alleviate that a bit. Alright. I don't want to lose. Damn. I'm sorry, shit. But you know what? That's reminding me of something. I wanted to pay you guys 1,000 points for the stream that we had to not do last week. So how do I do that again? Add points to all viewers. 1,000, confirm. Queued a 1,000 loyalty payout. It should work. I just don't know how long that takes. So you should be sitting at 1,000 more rather soon. Gotta leave in like an hour because of the Honkai stream. Yeah, I know. I know. I hope you have fun with that. Alright, let's go. I was on my way back home. The cries of the Higurashi accentuated the already lonely evening. More time had passed than I thought. The orange of the dusky sky was being chased down little by little by an indigo color approaching from the east. Why is he talking like some... Oh, wait, I gotta move the camera. There we go. Yeah, that should be fine. There we are. I think he's talking about Star Rail Shift. Exhausted from the slow climb towards Hinamizawa, without even noticing, I'd gotten off my bicycle and was pushing it uphill. What are we even talking about? Why is there a car parked here? And what's with the sad music? I don't understand any of this. No one had told me to my face that I'd done something wrong. No, in fact, it might have been much easier on me that way. What happened yesterday really was just my curiosity. Alright. You want to do that now when we have an emotional scene here? I like the music, by the way. This is a really cool soundtrack. Wait, Shift, you play Star Rail? I didn't even know that. Alright. Let's go. Snacky time screen. Background removal. Off. There we go. Holy shit, it's light out. Didn't even notice. Okay. Let me move my chair, and there we go. We're going down. We gotta wait for a second here. I like that track, honestly. That's really cool. I think that played in the first game as well. Didn't it? Or was that what played in... No, that played last week. I like that. Alright. Gotta do 5, right? There we go. And up we go. Yes, the Lofu arc is pretty eh. Oh, you guys are talking about Star Rail. That was 4. Yeah, I can't do more than 4, I'm sorry. And goodbye. Gameplay. And there we are. Whew. So, we're back to playing the game. Oh, camera, right, I gotta angle that. Like that. Is that okay? Yeah, that should be fine. Kind of want to move the camera a little bit. Like this, and maybe like, no, more to the right. Like that. So that I'm not over the board. Do you see that? That's kind of annoying to me. I know I should have fixed that before the stream, but still, it's kind of like this, maybe. Ah, that should be fine. Alright. I'm gonna go for a little bye. I'll see you later, Shiv. Okay. It really was no more than a quiet prank. No more than having the courage to cross at a red light as long as you did it with the other people. The storehouse for ritual implements, hallowed ground only accessible to the family of the priest. For sure, I'd seen terrifying things that I'd never imagined would be there. Thinking on it now, though, it didn't matter what was stored away inside. It didn't make the wrong I had committed any more right. I mean, I get that he broke in, right? Like he did do that, but is that really that bad? Is that really that? I don't know. I don't think... I think he's there... Well, although if they're really torturing people in there, I guess they wouldn't want newcomers to know, right? What the 4 of us did, Mion seemed to know about it. For some reason, even the police were trying to learn what the 4 of us did. Oh, right. The Oishi stuff, that happened as well. Did we do something so bad? Really? It doesn't matter how wrong it was. I did something wrong. It was nothing more than that, and yet I couldn't accept it. I didn't apologize to Mion or Oishi-san. All I did was shield myself with ambiguities. I'm excited for my birthday. When's your birthday, gamer lover? Today? I did something wrong yesterday. That's how I feel whenever I open a bag of chips. I set foot into a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. I'll forget everything I saw in there. I won't ever do something like that again either. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If I apologize like that, would they forgive me? The suddenly cool evening air left no room for such sentiment, however, as it mercilessly chilled my feet, urging me to head home as soon as possible. In the end, the evening air was correct. If I trudged along such an isolated road, regrets would pile up on top of regrets, but nothing would change. Is he mentally ill? Like, I think he's making a much too big deal out of all of this. Let's go home. I'll go home, go to my room, put on my favorite music or something, and go to bed. That might sound plain and boring, but it's probably the strongest I've felt all day. Ugh. Now that I've made a decision, there's no point in dawdling in a place like this. Oh, is he gonna find a corpse? Because he's... Because he's on a lonely road in the mountains? I sat back on my bike. I pushed hard on the pedals. I rapidly advanced forward. I steadily gained speed. The wind was cutting and mercilessly cold, but it actually felt good, as if it were softly punishing me. We actually made it home. That's kind of boring. I didn't eat much dinner before excusing myself early and returning to my bedroom. My mom called me from downstairs. Kaichi, you have a call. It's from Sonozaki-san. Sonozaki? Was it Mion? Nah, it was Shion. I just remembered she had something she wanted to tell me today. Oishi-san had interrupted us, so she didn't get the chance. Right, that was the thing. Clara is the worst five. Are you? I hope that's a joke. Clara main. Shion had said she'd call tonight. Hello? Is that you, Shion? Hello. Ran into a bit of trouble today, didn't we? She said it so plainly that I got a bit annoyed. She was the one who left me there and ran. Yeah, because she had to work. You teenager. Don't say that. I gave you the signal to run away with me, didn't I? You just sat there looking dazed, Kei-chan. I wasn't dazed. All of a sudden you left me there, and after that I had to put up with that Oishi guy for ages. I kind of hate Keiichi, you know? Don't complain to me about it. I can't believe she passed it off like that. She looks just like Mion, and yet inside she's this different? Oops. I got a little irritated at myself when I realized I was, somewhere in my mind, hoping for the same reaction I would get from Mion, even though she's a different person. Sorry. Next time I'll run away first thing and leave you there. Hey, it's ladies first! Shion laughed refreshingly. When I heard her voice, I realized that she wasn't really that angry or anything. I'm gonna just not read the non-Higurashi related talk out loud, okay? Because that's just too much. It It was just as she said. The cause of my temper was because it was my own fault for not leaving immediately. I'll stop blaming it on others. Blaming it on others would be... Anyway, you had something to tell me, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, if you already know, then it's not something that bears repeating. Do you already know? Shion lowered her voice suddenly, as if she was glancing around. I had no idea what I could already know. Sorry, but I have no clue what you're talking about. At least give me a hint. So that means you don't know. She seemed to take my stupid sounding question as evidence. However, her voice didn't sound disappointed or exasperated in the slightest. Actually, it's about last night during the Watanagashi festival. My entire body jolted as I was assailed by a terrible feeling. Is Shion going to ask the same thing? It's not always about you. Hello? Kei-chan, are you listening? Yeah, I am. What about last night? The four of us went in there, right? She didn't beat around the bush. Oh, this is not... This is Mion, right? She's trying to get the info out of him. Is that... Okay. Why would she ask that? Like, she knows, right? So, Sion wouldn't ask that. Whether or not I wanted to admit it, that was the actual honest truth. And I couldn't act like it hadn't happened. Then, after that, we walked away together, and then went our separate ways near the stone stairs, right? Takano-san and Tomitake-san went to the stream, and you stayed there, Kei-chan. I went over to see some relatives. Yeah. Why do you ask? We won't make any progress if we keep asking each other questions, so let me ask this question first. Okay? You mean, did I see Tomitake-san and Takano-san last night? Huh? Oh, yes. Did you see the two of them after that? So because they're dead. It's because they're dead. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. This is the third time I've been asked this question today. Why? Why? What the hell was going on? Why? Why are you asking me that? No, Kei-chan. I'm asking the question. Please answer me. Did you, Shion? If you answer first, then I'll answer. My shabby response betrayed how scared and small I felt now. After everything that had happened today, Shion didn't say anything for a few moments. Just as I was beginning to think I'd really put my foot in my mouth. What? I put my foot in my mouth? What does that mean? With that response, she finally answered me. Of course, I didn't see them. My relatives were with me, and they can vouch for that. I didn't see them either. People can vouch for me too, like Mion, Rena, and everyone else. Now that we knew our answers matched, she let out a sigh that sounded more relieved than anything else. Thank you for answering me honestly. Okay, then, I'll tell you. Apparently, last night, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died. Sorry, Shion. What was that you just said? Apparently, last night, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died. Takano-san was found burned to death. Tomitake-san, well, it looked like a suicide. I found out this morning. Was she burned to death? Okay. that's not torture. Well, kind of. Funny how she talked about witches burning to death, and she like burns to death in the same night. Was that foreshadowing? I heard my dad talking to a relative on the phone about it. Oh, she has a dad? Late last night, a police car on its way back from the festival, from festival security duty, had discovered Tomitake-san lying in the middle of the road, heading towards Okinomiya. He had clawed out his throat and died. So the same as last time. What? He clawed out his own throat? That right? Cheerful Tomitake-san committed suicide? That can't possibly be right. The police did an autopsy. He did it with his own fingernails. He scratched at his throat so hard that he ruptured his blood vessels and bled out. He died in a pool of his own blood. That's what they said. I've never heard of such an insane suicide. You can't just scratch open your own throat like that. I realized I was yelling too loudly, so I lowered the force I was putting into my voice. I didn't want my parents to hear me, so I switched to the cordless phone and ran up to my own room. Well, if you were screaming in the living room, you might have already made them hear you. Just saying. Sorry for yelling. So, was Takano-san... was that a suicide too? In her case, it's a little unclear. Takano-san's body was found in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture. How far is that? Hey there, Joe. Employees at a rest shop nearby reported to the police late at night that they could see flames in the mountains. The firefighters dispatched there were the first ones to find her. An autopsy concluded that it was the burned corpse of a half-naked female. Why was she half-naked? What? Don't tell me there. Come on, like, if this is... This is not a rape thing, is it? They initially considered the body beyond recognition, but directly after, there was a request for a dental comparison from the XX Prefectural Police Station in Okinomiya, and the results concluded that it was Mio Takano. The cause of death wasn't confirmed, but it was highly likely to have been a homicide, since she was in her undergarments and her clothes were nowhere in the area. So why was she? The oil drum had fallen over, so it's also possible she burned herself to death. It couldn't possibly have been suicide. If you're going to die, there are plenty of easier ways, aren't there? This can't be suicide. That's what I think. It's unthinkable that Tomitake-san would kill himself too. After the two of us rattled on at each other, there was silence as we paused to catch our breaths. And as we calmed our nerves, right then, I understood what Shion's story actually meant. Wait a second. This is the first time that two people actually died, right? Nobody went missing. So does that mean we're there? Are they implicating that Shion and Keiichi are gonna be what was it called, demoned away? And this year there's like two sets of victims? Or is it just the first time that the second one was found? I think it will end up being Oyashiro-sama's curse. We all did more than enough to deserve it after all. Deserve? You gotta be kidding. It's not like Shion wanted to see it with me. I just went along with her. I tried to say that, but I fell silent. Nothing would come of me blaming others. Well, at least he's growing a bit. It didn't matter how much everyone else encouraged me. I could have put my foot down. I lost to my own half-assed sense of adventure and agreed to go in with them. Yes, it was my fault and no one else's. Shion, last night when we snuck into the ritual storehouse, did you predict things would turn out this way? Of course not. I mean, I thought it was pretty risky, but I never even dreamed something like this could happen. Shion's words were probably her true feelings. She knew she could get in trouble if we were caught, but that was the thrill of this little adventure. It was the same for me. Besides that, Kei-chan, think about it for a moment. Didn't Oyashiro-sama's curse turn out a little strange this year? There it is. It was already plenty strange, seeing as how Tomitake and Takano-san died like that. Given all that, what could possibly be stranger? I mean, that they found 2 corpses. Remember what I said? Every other year, 1 person would die, and 1 person would disappear. This year is the first time 2 people have been found dead. That may be true, but that's not a huge deal, is it? It is, Kei-chan. Think about it harder. Listen, if 2 people died because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, then in order to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger, 2 people would need to be sacrificed. Is that how it works? So what? Tomitake-san and Takano-san died, so now 2 people are going to go missing this year? I don't understand why, but when I said that, I felt my spine freeze. Well, probably because you are the least, the most likely to be sacrificed. I don't know. It seems likely. Bro, are you guys still talking about Sarail? I don't think anyone's been confirmed missing yet. I think that those 2 people have yet to disappear. Shion, like me, was obviously getting the same feeling crawling down her back. 2 people have yet to disappear. Shion didn't answer. I couldn't say any more than that either. A chill crept in through my clothes and tried to wrap into a fist around my heart. Cold hands feeling about on my chest. Neither of us could say anything. Tomitake-san opened the lock and he died. Takano-san exposed the ritual storehouse, and she died. If 2 more people were to be sacrificed, then they would be none other than the ones who entered with them. None other than us. No, this has got to be a joke. I wanted so much for her to pass this off as a joke, even now. That, though, was such an incredibly difficult and selfish request. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had died in a common way like a car accident, I could tell myself it was coincidence. Instead, he clawed out his own throat, and she burned to death, drowned in oil in the mountains. The 2 deaths were so out of the ordinary that I couldn't possibly dismiss it as mere coincidence. So, this This has been on my mind since the first game, but aren't most of, if not all, the actual villagers safe from the curse? Because the curse has always targeted outsiders so far. So, or at least people that were against the village. So, I mean, I get Shion, but Keiichi was accepted by the community, right? I don't think he would be killed that easily without given a chance for redemption or something. Or maybe Mion did that when she asked. And if he said, yes, we did go into the storehouse, she would have forgiven him. Maybe that was a test or something. It was as if, in exchange for sneaking into the ritual storehouse, there must be someone punishing us, some sort of cruel will working behind the scenes. Even so, I still didn't want to accept that terrifying truth. If I did, then I would have to acknowledge that a horrible crisis was growing near for Shion and I. That's why I argued against it. I argued knowing I was running away. I don't like this track. In the first place, it's not even in the newspaper, is it? Such a monstrous incident would be all over the newspapers and television. Magazine writers would flood the village too, thinking it'd make for an interesting story. Of course it's not getting reported by the media. That's how it was in the past too. When the incidents occurred for the third year in a row, there were some third-rate magazines that sniffed out the story and ran issues full of gossip columns about Hinamizawa. Fearing that the region would develop a negative stigma, they negotiated with the prefecture and the police. You negotiated, or more like you are fucking Yakuza, so you probably just told the police to stop, right? Hey, what's good, Script? How are you doing? Since last year, it became a big conspiracy where the information about the incidents was allowed to be leaked to the media, where no information, okay. I hear the elders and the top brass from the Sonozaki family put all the pressure they could on the police. Yakuza, I told you. Then you mean their deaths are going to be dealt with in total secrecy? That's how it is. Of course, the police are investigating it. That's being performed in secret too, though, so I hear the investigation itself is very restricted in what it can and can't do. You could essentially say they're interfering with a police investigation. This story was unbelievable. People died, and yet they don't publicize it and deal with everything in secret? It's like real politics. Awesome. If we break it down further, it means that no matter who dies on the night of the Watanagashi, it won't go public. That's the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard. Kei-chan, before I said how the villagers could be the ones carrying out Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's what I mean. At some point, a tradition was created here in Hinamizawa where every year you're allowed to kill someone on the night of the Watanagashi under the guise of it being Oyashiro-sama's curse. Wait, you're allowed to kill... Is it? So it's like the purge. So what does the Council of Elders just sit around in their weird circle and decide who's gonna die. Sounds like they're making excuses. Like, yeah. But they're fanatics, right? So everything they do is excuses. Because it's all based on religion and their superstitious belief. When someone dies on the night of Watanagashi, it turns into the curse of Oyashiro-sama. The curse turns into the serial murder incidents. In order to avoid exacerbating the negative stigma surrounding Hinamizawa, those incidents are dealt with in secret. That's insane. Dead and missing people turn up every year. However bad the stigma gets, the police have to draw the line somewhere, don't they? You could say the incidents happening every year is mysterious, but the police can get the job done when they need to. After all, the incidents always get resolved individually. It doesn't end up being a string of incidents, you know? It just so happens that something unfortunate happens on the night of Watanagashi every year. That's all it turns into. Most of the criminals responsible for the original dismemberment were arrested. The last one managed to get and stay away, but the events were totally exposed and elucidated, so it was in essence resolved. Well, no, because he got away, right? The damn supporting couple who died in an accident on the second year, that was an accidental death, plain and simple. They made a lot of investigations into the possibility of it having been a homicide, but they didn't turn up anything. So if they can somehow make Tomitake claw out his own throat, so basically committing suicide, why would they not be able to force another suicide? You know, like maybe with drugs or something. That's where I'm currently at. That Tomitake just gets drugged at the night of the Watanagashi. It ended up as an accident. It was resolved. On the third year, the priest fell ill and passed away. There were doctors present at the hospital at his deathbed, and they all had trustworthy medical certificates. They even did an autopsy. It concluded that it wasn't a homicide. That was resolved too. Yeah, but everything that happens in the village happens at the okay of the Sonozaki family, right? So when the Yakuza family tells them to fake the autopsy, they would do that. Why is Shion in his room? Yeah, because it's a phone call. Joe has not been the same since Shion's first appearance. Well, what if the same thing that happened to Takano-san happens to Shion, but we save her, and then we find her in her undergarments, but before she gets burned to death? What would Joe think about that? On the fourth year, the sister-in-law of the damn supporting couple was murdered. The criminal was an abnormal man with a history of regular psychostimulant usage. So drugs. He confessed that he thought Oyashiro-sama's curse was so interesting he wanted to try it out. Why is that written like that? Yeah, so that curse that people are talking about, that always kills someone every year. I want to try that. Sounds cool. The criminal died of an accident while in prison, so this incident was easily resolved as well. What accident? How do you die in prison? Of an accident. I would like one curse, please. You're not getting any curses. That's right. None of the incidents had any relation to another, and each was independently resolved. Well, the relation is that all of them happen at a regular interval inside a village controlled by a Yakuza family that has literal ties to politicians and doctors and other high-ranking social members, right? It's like, of course they're not gonna make it public, but that doesn't mean it's not connected. So then, why does an unfortunate coincidence occur every year on the night of Watanagashi? You can try and say it's a string of related incidents, but they're not related. Yet every year, someone always dies, and someone always disappears. The story Takano-san told me on the day before during the setup, now that the curse really had occurred this year, I couldn't just laugh it off. Then, does that mean it'll come for us too? Just like how one person dies and one disappears every year, are you saying we'll be taken along with Tomitake-san and Takano-san and erased too? My lips had at some point become completely dry. Yeah, mine as well. And just saying that was difficult. Shion didn't respond. Her silence, however, was the clearest form of confirmation she could give me. I mean, sure, we went somewhere we shouldn't have, but we were just looking, right? We didn't steal anything or take anything out, and we didn't tell anyone that we looked, right? I was already regretting having committed such a wrong. Well, of course you would if you were basically told you were gonna get sacrificed to a god. Even so, was it really so bad that Tomitake-san and Takano deserved such cruel deaths? Besides, I didn't care about anything I saw in there at all. Takano-san was the only one getting so happy over it, wasn't she? Takano-san was the only one at fault. I don't have anything to do with this. I'm not interested. I'm not involved. I don't give a shit about what was in there. Jesus, this guy is such... He has, like, minus spine. His this dude is like the most easily I'm gonna throw someone else under the bus character I've ever seen in fiction. If it was the Yakuza 3 plot, it would be more gay. Not everything, not scalar. Not everything involving multiple men is gay. What is going on in your brain? I knew saying so wouldn't solve anything. I could feel myself, my cold self, in the innermost depths of my heart, disgusted, and my pointless howling. However, my emotions had broken through the dam, and I couldn't stop them anymore. I didn't have any interest in any of this from the start, damn it! All I wanted to do was watch Rika-chan's performance. You were the one who pulled me away from that, weren't you, Shion? I don't give a rat's ass whether those two were trying to steal something or try to meet up secretly or whatever. That's right, you're the one who made me go in there in the first place, Shion. You were all, Kei-chan, you need to see what's inside. And you convinced me and then pulled me in. Why the hell did you do that? I didn't have anything to do with this. What will you do? What are you going to do, damn it? How are you going to take responsibility for this, huh? Hey, are you listening? Click. Well, he just lost his girlfriend. You don't do that. I'm just sit down because I've been standing for 48 minutes. It's too long. I'm too fat for that. Schizophrenia? Yeah, they all got that. Okay. Click. That's because you're old. Yeah, and I'm fat because I'm old. I wasn't fat when I was 18. Not as much, at least. Without any warning, the phone cut off with the soft sound of a receiver being slammed down. Shion was just as terrified as I was. I just said some really self-centered things. My riled-up emotions disappeared as if they'd never existed, and in their place surged waves of deep regret at having run my mouth so irresponsibly. I could try to call out Shion's name from beyond the disconnected phone, but it was too late. What have I done? Shion was only trying to tell me as much as she could about this thing about to descend upon us. As for me, I could only whine like a child about it. I went to call her back, but then remembered she lived in Okinomiya. I didn't know her phone number. Since I had declared to Mion that I hadn't seen Shion last night, I couldn't just call Mion and ask her for Shion's phone number. I was too scared. I couldn't even call her back. I was stricken with hopeless regret. I returned the receiver to its stand, and I simply prayed that Shion would call me back again. Why the fuck would she? Woo. It's good, Dilly. How are you? So Keiichi's being an idiot again. It's kind of been the whole last 50 minutes of this game being a fucking spineless idiot asshole. They're all dead, Keiji, and it's your fault. If there's a game in this series where they all die, except for Keiichi, he better have some damn good character development, because right now I don't want him to outlive any of the girls, except for maybe Sadako. I'm good I woke up from an accidental 5-hour nap. A 5-hour nap? How do you nap for 5 hours? The ideal game would be where only Sadako dies. I don't think we're going to have a game where Tomitake doesn't die. It would be cool, but by now, like, they both died in the first two games. I don't know. I feel like they're always the first two. And where Shion marries me. Wait, Joe, you were in the game? I didn't know that. Please, Shion, calm down and call me. Calm down. You just basically look. It's pretty obvious she likes him, right? And she's probably also scared out of her mind. And she called you to talk to you and probably calm down. And what did you do? You told her it was all her fault that people died, and that she has to take responsibility for it. Like she ain't gonna call you back. I'm always in the game. I crawled out of the Subnautica void. Look, see that black on screen right now? That void, that's me. Oh shit. I've got to be real. I don't really see a void on screen. There's just some writing and some light blue. Oh, it's gone. Oh no, that's what you mean. Okay. I see. Okay. I sleep at like 3 for a little Betty buys and ended up waking after dark. That's shit. You'll never get Shion, Joe, you horny ass. Not like that. She doesn't like the void. She wants a boy. A man. Oh shit, she's calling. Hello, this is Maebara. I swept up the receiver as though it wouldn't go through if I didn't grab it at that exact moment. Who is that? It's Saul. Maybe Shion's a lesbian. Is there proof of that? Maybe pictures. If so, please send them to me. Okay, so who's calling? Is this tech support? Is this the Maebara residence? Excuse me for the late call. I'm Kimiyoshi. Is this the head of the household? It was the voice of a girl who clearly wasn't Shion. Oh, it's a girl. Shit. All my hopes rushed out of me. No, it isn't. If you need Dad, I'll go call him. Wasn't Kimiyoshi? Didn't we hear that name somewhere before? I went to put the receiver back down, but the caller stopped me hurriedly. Oh, no. If he's busy, then it's fine. This may be a strange request, but is my old man paying you a visit? No, nobody's here at the moment. I see. Again, I apologize for calling you so late at night. Goodbye. Don't change the voice. I didn't change the voice. What? It was perfectly fitting. Black. I don't know who that was, but what if Shion tried to call while I was on the phone? I thought bubbling with egotistic. Wait, is it egotistic? I didn't know that. Okay. Hey, wait. Give it a break, Keiichi Maebara. These are the selfish emotions that made Shion mad at me, aren't they? The more I thought about it, though, the more I thought that Shion had given up hope in the short time since we had our conversation and didn't want to call me anymore. Yep. A couple of days ago, I got called a girl in public. It was so damn embarrassing to say some stranger I'm a guy. I mean, is that much of a problem? Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like that's more funny than anything. Why didn't you defend yourself with a knife shift? Because you know. Yeah, just pull the little switcheroo. No, but seriously, like. Shift, let me get this straight. You're a dude, right? But you like to cross-dress? Is that it? So, do you not want to be seen as a girl? I'm sorry if this is offensive, but I don't get it. I just want to understand what the situation is. But you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to as well. Calm yourself, Keiichi Maebara. If Shion does call again, then first apologize in a calm voice. Yes, good idea. If you do that, then Shion should understand. However, no matter how long I waited, the phone didn't ring again that night. Well, bro got fucked. I had a family debate my gender once while downtown. That was fucking funny. Maybe this is because I'm old. But it's so weird to me that gender is so much of a problem nowadays. Like, or such a popular topic. Does it really matter that much? I don't own a knife, Joe. Apart from kitchen, well, kitchen ones work well. right? They... There's no way I'd be able to sleep. Are you a guy, Inochi? I am. At least. Yeah. It matters to the transphobes for some reason, that's why. I mean, it also matters a lot to the trans people, right? I think both sides are often making too much of a deal out of it. Like, just do what you want to do, as long as you don't interfere with others, then I think it's fine. Noji is in fact the hottest anime girl with an old man filter. Just imagine what would happen if I had a tech issue with my voice filter or the camera filter for once. And you guys could see my reverse logic of trying to be not hot on stream. If you took off the filter, we would all bust. Take off that mask and reveal your anime girl. I'm literally a Scooby-Doo villain. I seem to have escalated the situation, and now what? Also, some guy I used to know also came out as a femboy, and now he keeps messaging me, and he calls me his boyfriend. Have you told him that you don't want that? Did you actually tell him? Because that sounds weird as shit. Just block him, yeah. It's that is some next level weirdness if you just call somebody your boyfriend, if, you know, without their consent. That what happens to the what is happening to the world? I don't know. Man, my 30-year-old brain just cannot comprehend. No, I don't want to. Why not? My caps lock is messing up and now I have to hold down shift to type properly. Don't hold shift down. I don't know if you would enjoy that. I hate to say, but I kind of like him back now. Well, that's good, right? that's just... How about telling him that? And actually become his boyfriend, like from both sides, like consensual relationship and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best to give advice to that. Frighten people. So it's kind of true. Okay, there was no way I'd be able to sleep. When she hung up the phone like that, I realized for the first time what kind of situation I was in, as well as who the only one ally who would support me was. The girl you just told the fuck off. Just bone him. Okay. I don't know how old Schiff is to Dilly. Maybe not the best advice. I waited with bated breath for Xion to calm down and call me back. What would I do if the phone rang while I was sound asleep? Well, you would wake up because I don't think you can just outsleep a phone. No matter how long I waited, however, it never rang. Exhausted, whenever my mind started to wander, I would jolt awake as though I heard the phone ring. In the end, I brought the cordless phone with me into my futon and went to sleep with it in my arms, like a little baby boy. Though it still didn't amount to anything. Morning came. Fucking bird. That came out of nowhere. Yeah, good luck sleeping through the landline ringing. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Hey, like Dinkler, where'd you pop up from? I thought you were at the Star Ale stream. Morning came, and by that time I was pretty sure she wasn't calling back. Oh, duh. She probably deleted your contact info and went to sleep and said, fuck that guy. That was when a fierce drowsiness assailed me. Damn it. This is no time for sleep, Keiichi Maebara. I slapped myself in the face a few times. First good thing he did in the whole series. No script asked me to explain myself about the Freakler thing. Then I went to the washroom and washed my face, which is something I usually didn't do. Ugh. Why you nasty, bro? That wasn't enough either, so I even... even brushed my teeth. Okay. Okay. Keiichi wouldn't have made it through the pandemic. Keiichi caused the pandemic. Yeah, Shift, if you're still listening, I don't think anybody wanted to make you feel bad or something, right? It's just so you know. Like, don't misunderstand anybody here. We're trying to help. So is he saying he doesn't usually brush his teeth? And Rena likes him? And Shion too? I thought Shion was some high society girl with big boobs and a fat ass. You don't fall for that trash. Fall for me. I'm also trash, but at least I brushed my teeth. No, I think he's just so bored he brushed them for no reason. That's not how I am. No, that's not. I'm sticking with the Keiichi is a ranky ass fuck. After that, I was finally wide awake. When Mom saw how strange I was acting, her eyes went wide. What's wrong, Keiichi? Are you going somewhere today? Yeah, to school. That was the dumbest parent to kid conversation. H-kun, you don't look so good today. Do you have a cold? I'm not sick, I just didn't get much sleep. If I space out and start talking nonsense, just humor me. I wonder what kind of nonsense you'll say. I wonder. Now I'm looking forward to it. How? I felt utterly shattered, and I still hadn't picked myself back up this morning, and for precisely that reason, Rena's honest smile was a sight for sore eyes. Yo. What's up, Kei-chan? Rena, good morning. What? Mi-chan, you look like you didn't get much sleep either. I wonder what they... Ooh, what is Rena thinking right now? They both come to school and didn't get much sleep. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Mion had gone home early yesterday with a hangover, but she didn't look too good this morning either. Her usual cheerfulness was completely buried in shadow. Yeah, I went... Don't bonk me. What'd I do? I went to bed at like 3. Don't bonk me. Why are you bonking me? I'm a little tired. 3? Right after yesterday? Hey now, you can't keep staying up late. You probably read the first volume of a manga, thought it was interesting, then read the entire series, didn't you? I understand, I've done that before. Because I'm a nerd, and I read manga. Okay, I'm the nerd. Shouldn't make fun of that. My souls. Hey, you all got 1,000 souls for free just at the start of the stream, okay? Don't... Come on, like... I joke, trying to shake off my sleepiness. I was trying to be considerate. However, neither Mion nor Rena smiled. In fact, they didn't even pay attention. Rena's expression immediately darkened. What? Wait, is it about the mayor? He still hasn't been found? Nope. Hey, wait a minute. What are you talking about? You can't find the mayor? Even the classroom, which was normally bursting with bright, joking voices, seemed filled with a different side of a sort of murmur today. Oh, she's still here. Good morning, Kate-san. Have you heard? It looks like something terrible has happened. I don't really know this mayor person, but he's an old guy, right? Couldn't he just be wandering around senile? The mayor is certainly not senile. He's a sprightly man who can teach both calligraphy and swordsmanship. He probably got lost somewhere, like me. I lost Rika? Oh, I want to take you home with me. Getting lost is only cute because children like Rika do it. A worn-out old man getting lost isn't moe in the slightest. Nope, that's Inoji. He hoards body pillows. I only got one. While my mind entertained dumb thoughts like that, our teacher arrived. Everyone rushed to their seats. Sadako, she's so cute. Oh no, no, she's not. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The class greeting was normal, but the atmosphere in the room was heavy. Some of you may have already heard, but last night, despite the late hour, the mayor never came home. Is there anyone here who saw the mayor yesterday? Or one or two hands went up in silence, and they told her about having seen him. None of it seemed to be vital information, however, and everyone began whispering among themselves. If anyone has seen the mayor, please tell an adult about it, alright? Now then, let's begin class. After that, the same old lessons began. Why does Dilly need a ban? I don't see it. Bro, both Dilly and Sadako in the pit. The rumors, once quiet, had blossomed in flowers again at lunchtime. I could hear a few different conversations. I'm sorry. They were mostly related to the mayor's disappearance. Summing them all up, I came out with this. Yesterday evening, the mayor went to a meeting at the shrine's assembly hall. The meeting ended after the sun had fully set and everyone left. The elder's house was a bit far from the center of Hinamizawa. It was already late and Hinamizawa doesn't have a lot of lights outside. Nobody saw the mayor after the meeting. However, because he would have been hungry, he wouldn't have taken any side trips. He would have gone straight home. However, no matter how long his family waited, he never returned. Oh, is that Kimiyoshi? Where they, where the daughter called last night? So trying to farm that Reddit karma? What are you talking about? Some thought there might have been an accident. They left no stone unturned. They searched from the irrigation channels to the water wells and even in the rice paddies, but they didn't find him. Of course, there was a limit to how far they could search in the middle of the night. The police were going to wait for daylight, then have the young men of the town help search. If after all that they still didn't find him, they were apparently even going to go looking in the mountains. Even now, at this moment, the adults were probably all searching for him. The more they searched in vain, and the more time passed, the only thing that came to mind was the curse. The rumors of Onikashi, of the demoning away. Had he become this year's sacrifice to Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had been recently occurring every year? So it's not Keiichi. That scary possibility, which everybody thought about but nobody could say aloud, was slowly but surely spreading through the village. We got that message already, Police's daddy. Can we stop with the bots on Twitch, please? Was he demoned away and offered as a sacrifice to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger? My classmates were whispering to each other that the curse didn't happen this year, so there shouldn't have been any sacrifices. Oh, because they don't know about the deaths. I, on the other hand, I knew. The curse did happen again this year, and there were 2 people that died. This may sound strange, but I hadn't exactly thought the elder would be the one to go missing. My reason was clear. Shion and I should have been a higher priority than him. The 4 of us were thieves that broke the taboo and set foot into the sacred ritual storehouse. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had suffered mysterious deaths, then it should have been me and Mai and Shion's turn next. Shion's and Mai. Remember the YouTube porn bots that were everywhere in streams? Good God, the spam. Yeah, I'm glad that stopped. This time, should have been Shion and me, eh? I laughed painfully to myself. I'd yelled at Shion over the phone that I didn't want to end up in such a terrifying situation, but now that someone other than me had disappeared, I could only think that I should have been the first to go. Onigafuchi, the bottomless swamp, said to have been the place where they drowned sacrifices long ago. Just as it ran through my thoughts, the villagers must have also considered the swamp. Maybe police divers were plumbing its depths even now. So, I've been wondering about this bottomless swamp. Is it actually bottomless? Can the police check it for corpses and stuff? How deep is that swamp? And if it's that deep and dangerous, why don't they, like, take care of it? Like, I don't know, build a fence or something. They probably wouldn't find anyone. Not a single missing person had ever been found. They can't check it, but not because of the depth. Why not? They always suspected Onigafuchi, but not once have they ever turned up a corpse from it. After all, it was a devilish, bottomless swamp, from which no one who sinks can ever return. I could hear someone telling their friend that in the classroom. I don't want to spoil. Okay. Now that you mention it, Satoshi-san, he left around this time last year, didn't he? Huh? Satoshi? I've heard that name before. He was right. He disappeared because of last year's curse. The conversation was happening in the seat next to me, so I could hear it clearly. Didn't we search the whole village like this for Satoshi-san too? We didn't find him either. What did we decide? That was a demoning away, right? Yeah, I heard he withdrew all his savings and ran away from home. Someone from the police said there was someone who saw him get on the bullet train at Nagoya Station. Ran away, huh? I wasn't that interested in the reason, which seemed understandable in this case. Everyone else who disappeared had their own reasons too. Either way, they were still on the run because they were either they were still on the run because they were criminals, or they were a corpse that couldn't be found. That sent me for a loop. I hadn't heard of Satoshi in so long. Well, we heard about him in the first game a lot, right? Because Keiichi took his bat. It's not like any of them suddenly disappeared into thin air for no reason. But they disappeared. What if Satoshi is the protagonist in the next game because Keiichi dies? That would be hype. That would actually be really cool if we didn't get a time loop thing for the third game. But instead, like, changed characters, changed protagonists, or midway through a game. That would be pretty cool. Someone disappeared whenever the curse took a life, as if by design. They may have had various understandable reasons, but they still disappeared. From that point of view, it really might have been a demoning away this time. The mayor's disappearance was the first such incident without a clear reason behind it. Of course, coming to that realization didn't help to resolve anything. That was out of nowhere. It looks like I messed up the seasoning today. Sorry. Normally, Rena's lunch would have been devoured immediately, but today there was still a ton left. That wasn't because Rena's lunch didn't taste good or anything, though. Dude! Not you! Why are they so close?
That isn't the case. Your lunch today is as delicious as always.
Yeah, that's the actual demon. Sadako dips her chopsticks into Rena's bento box and pulls bits of food out one after the other.
Yes, delicious indeed. Today in particular, in fact. Chomp chomp.
Shut the fuck up. Go away.
Huh? You know those are pumpkin croquettes, right? Are you okay? Yes. If it's your pumpkin, then it's delicious.
Oh, I bet Rena's pumpkin's delicious. I get to say that. Did Sadako dislike pumpkin? Regardless, she forced herself to smile and shoved more into her mouth. Everyone knew. Nobody's lunch tasted very good today. Sadako kept Don't bonk me! Sadako kept shoveling it down, repeating her remark on how good it was. Wait, I think I gotta... Give me 1 second here. What is it? What is it? Well, who do we have here? Hello, Luna. You can barely make her out on the camera because she's so dark and black. Big black beauty. She wants the cables? No, she's not the one eating the cables. That's not Luna. That's Kiriko. But Kiriko is... I was about to say she's not awake, but Luna woke her up. What do you want? You want to go outside? Okay. Yeah. There you go. Alright, so I basically just traded cats. Inoji, if you're gonna make a pun like that, don't hold awkward silence for 5 years. What pun? Didn't make no pun. Didn't do anything. Luna will take the cable eating championship. No, she just eats blue. I meant an innuendo. I didn't anything. If it's that good, then I guess I gotta have some too. Sadako, I can't read chat. Sadako is gonna eat it all if we let her.
It's just so good. I would certainly like it if Keiichi-san were to eat some as well.
Well, sometimes I have to show my adult generosity, right? Okay, don't hold back on my account. Eat enough for the both of us today. Yeah, why is she crying? She really, really hated Pumpkin, didn't she? That made it all the more touching to see Sadako's own brand of generosity. I grabbed her head and busted into the wall. Sadako, in a somewhat exaggerated fashion, was bawling, tears streaming down her face. No way, you'll never grow up if you give away such good food. Rena, you eat too. I only have leftover vegetable stew, but it tastes great after having sat overnight. Yeah, the daikon radish has such a pretty color going through it. It looks delicious. What is this? Why are we having such banter? I guess I'll have some then. Rena reached... I'm sorry. Rena reached out with her chopsticks, and at last, the usual lunchtime atmosphere began to return. That was only at our desks, however. Can we black out the left side of the screen? Wait a second. How do I... Oh, because it's locked, I can't grab it. Okay. The dark tales of Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had recurred for 5 years in a row, didn't cease. The whole classroom remained stuck in this somber mood. Alright. "11 out of 10 experience." Glad you enjoyed that. You go on the HSR livestream and the first comment, Hoyo give us jade. Yeah. Oyashiro-sama's curse had happened for 5 years straight. Everyone had wanted the previous year to be the last. What was Oyashiro-sama's curse anyway? They were going to build a dam in Hinamizawa. The people building it were bad, so they were cursed. I would admit that much. Still, the dam project was frozen years ago, wasn't it? So why was the curse stubbornly persisting? Probably because they noticed how fun it is to kill people or some shit. I hit myself on the cheeks to perk myself back up. Everyone was trying so hard to brighten the mood. I couldn't go straight back to thinking about the curse like that. Okay, see ya. Have fun, dude. And don't spoil me, please, if you come back to the stream here. I forced the grim story out of my head. Driving Oyashiro-sama's curse out of my thoughts was actually a good idea. In the end, that meant I would also be driving away the most terrifying thought of all, that I could be the curse's next target. Mion's taking a while, isn't she? What's she doing anyways? How long does it take to wash your hands? Well, you wouldn't know because you never wash anything, Keiichi, apparently. Mion has said she was going to wash her hands and left, and she hadn't come back. She's probably taking a little afternoon nap somewhere. I think she was up pretty late last night, looking for the mayor after all. I smiled wryly and let out a sigh. Today was no good. However much we tried to lighten the mood, things always came back to the mayor. It was just a no-good day. I had just transferred here recently, so the shock of a curse happening 5 years running was an unimaginably big one. Maybe I do need to appreciate that. When Mi-chan was... Can you please stop constantly going back and forth in front of my monitor, Luna? Thank you. When Mi-chan was really little, the mayor would always spoil her. When she was going through her prankster phase, he loved her like his own daughter. She's told me that often. I see. Mion was in shock too. Someone disappearing at all because of a curse was a very scary thing. If the sacrifice was someone you knew, though, then the shock must be 100 times worse. Sadako, as if she'd come to the same conclusion, bit her lower lip and looked downward. Just a second. Oh, Rika-chan is taking a while too. Maybe they're taking a nice afternoon nap together.
Rika wasn't out that late. As soon as she yawned, everyone gathered around her and started saying good night, good night.
Now that she mentioned it, there were a lot of old people rubbing their prayer beds in fervent gratitude towards Rika-chan during the festival too. I told you before, do not rub your prayer beds. Or beads, I'm sorry. For a little girl. An image of the indulgent elderly came to mind. Had Rika-chan discovered a way to get herself to be pampered like that? Yeah, the way is being a cute little girl. Is there a reason the old people treat Rika-chan like an idol? Is she their ideal image of a granddaughter or something?
I don't know anything about that. But I want to see Rika-chan yawning. It's probably all like, oh, I want to take her home. I don't personally think it's that cute. It's more of a, and she opens her mouth really wide so you can see the back of her throat. Rika-chan's giant yawn. How?
Rena's handy at times like these. I finally managed a heartfelt laugh. Oh, right. I'm on day duty today, aren't I? I need to go water the flower garden. The garden is right outside the teacher's lounge, too, so they can immediately tell if you don't do it right.
I think Sadako-chan is cute, not only Rika-chan. Giant yawn. Can't breathe. How? I got a glimpse. It was so cute. Sadako-chan is cute too. I'm gonna take you home.
Rena was strangling Sadako. I don't think that counts as yawning. You know, Rena is... I can't say it out loud, but she's a notorious... You gotta see that. But she's a notorious censored. She's a what? What is censored? What game? What are you censoring? What is Rena? Yeah. Alright. Hearing Sadako make a weird noise like a chicken being strangled was kind of hilarious, and I couldn't help but laugh. Bitch? I don't think it's bitch. At some point, the classroom had erupted into laughter too. Why are they all laughing when Sadako is being strangled? So is that canon? That we are supposed to be happy when that happens? Maybe Rena was doing it on purpose. Even if she wasn't, this nonsense was a welcome sight. Anyway, let's get over to the flowers while I still have time. Slowly and quietly, lest I destroy the room's newfound peace, I left the classroom. The watering can was hanging up outside the kitchen. Why do they have a kitchen in their school? This building had originally been an all-male forestry service building. Oh, right. So there was apparently nothing so thoughtful as a garden here before. If only Rena strangled Sadako to death. That happens in chapter 4. When they decided to have a school share the space, they built one there as a modest gesture of appreciation. But, well, the flower bed, it was a little longer than you'd expect. It went all around. It went all over the place. It was so big, one would need to refill the watering can 5 or 6 times to get it all done. I was doing this together with a kid who was also, thankfully, on day duty today. She was in the lowest grade though, and a full size smaller than even Rika-chan. I couldn't make a kid who would struggle just to lift a full watering can help me with this. If you were placed on day duty with someone who liked this sort of thing, they'd do it all for you, so it'd be cake. No point in blaming her. I give up. I'll just get started. Watering can in hand, just as I was about to leave the building, the old man from the forestry office addressed me. Sonny, there's a vegetable garden beyond the warehouse, right? It's all just about dried up. Water that too, would you? Oh, you mean that curry vegetable garden? The one with the potatoes and carrots and other things that are only ingredients for curry? It's definitely the personal garden of our curry-loving teacher, but making students responsible for its upkeep is getting them involved in their personal affairs. Couldn't say that to his face though, so I gave up and decided to carry out my day duties. So what's he gonna find there? Another corpse? The sunlight out front was strong. The great chorus of cicadas was strongly underlining how nothing was different today than yesterday. I passed by the classroom, and I don't know how it happened, but Rena and Sadako were in the middle of a huge melee. I want to see that. While I was gone, the kids had arranged all the desks in a circle, forming a ring while everyone was cheering them on. They built a fucking fight club. Okay, I'm down for it. Yeah, that's how it should be. When school ended, we would need to return to reality, where talk of the elders' disappearance would once again be all over the place. I wanted everyone to forget about everything and have fun, just like yesterday, if only while they were at school. In that sense, Sadako's whirling elbow and Rena's backwards flying spin kick made for a pleasant sight, even if, as a result, they flipped over my desk. Ah, that's my pencil box. I'll just let it happen today. I set to work, hastily watering everything, wanting nothing more than to be done as soon as possible. That should be about it. No sooner had I thought that than I remembered that I had to water the teacher's curry vegetable garden too. That's such a pain, but I have a feeling that it'll come back to bite me if I don't. I gave up, filling the can with water again, and headed behind the warehouse. I don't know if this is such a good place to be. I really am not sure if he should be here. This was a place students didn't like to go. It was always damp here, and you couldn't discard the possibility of slugs and pill bugs being around. Or Rika. So when I ran across her in a place like that, I was surprised. Whoa. Oh, it's Rika-chan. Don't scare me like that. Rika-chan was just standing there like a puppet, devoid of life. I was the only one who was startled here. Rika-chan didn't even seem to react to my appearance. Rika-chan? Finally, she noticed me. Her expression was clearly abnormal. There was red under her eyes, stained with tears and dirt. There were blades of grass stuck in her hair too, and her clothes looked as though she'd fallen to the ground. Rika-chan? Are you hurt? Did you fall? No, that isn't it. Rika-chan said in the brightest voice she could manage as she rubbed her eyes. She didn't look anywhere near normal though. What happened? You weren't sleeping on the storehouse roof and then fell off or anything, did you? Don't worry about me. I have something I want to ask you, Keiichi. Oh. Okay. Oh, is she gonna ask the same thing and he's gonna go all crazy again? Rika-chan walked over and clung to me. At first, I thought she was playing a trick on me. Eventually, however, I realized it was so that I wouldn't run from the question she was about to ask. I shuddered. What do you want from me? She looked straight into my eyes. Her upturned eyes bored right into me. It was as though they were trying to pull the answer out of my own eyes, without actually asking me the question. It was scary, so I averted my face from hers.
Keiichi, did you do something bad on the night of the festival?
Why does she know? Also, Noji, I had to mute and skip half of the version trailer because I didn't want story spoilers. Oh, is it over already? That was quick. My body gave a jolt from its very core. Rika-chan, who was clinging to me, might have felt my shiver. A nervous tingle crawled up from my feet, and after going up my back and freezing my entire body, it's made its way into my brain.
Keiichi, do you really not remember?
My head began to throb. It's not usually my head, but sure. I don't understand anything. Whoa! Mion asked me, Oishi-san asked me, Shion asked me, and now Rika-chan was asking me? We thought nobody knew about what we did last night, but in fact, everyone knew? They all knew, and they came to ask me. Again and again, until I admitted it. When I thought about it, it was pretty clear the whole thing was out in the open. After all, don't Tomitake-san and Takano-san's deaths prove it?
Keiichi?
Should I respond? We never should have entered the forbidden storehouse, and even though I regretted it so much, was she saying it wasn't enough? Well, you never actually apologized, you know? However, I had all but decided what I was going to say. I'm not exactly a good kid, you know? I've done lots of bad things, so I can't remember anything specific. Just as I had with all the others, I evaded the question. Rika-chan stared up at me with innocent eyes. Her eyes were so painful that I had to look away. After a few moments of mutual silence, Rika-chan released me.
I'm sorry for asking something strange. Please, forget about it,
she said, smiling her usual smile. Then, tap tap tap, she went running off as if nothing had happened. As she retreated in silence, I could feel her accusing me. Rika-chan. She didn't hear my voice and I was going to give up. However, she heard it. Rika-chan swiveled around and waited for me to continue. I was the one who had questions now. Still, asking any of them could just be a half-assed way of admitting what I did. Hey, Rika-chan.
What is it?
If everyone knows anyway, then I should be able to at least ask this, right? Why is everyone asking me about the night of the festival? That evening, had I done something that wrong? I felt plenty sorry about it, and I only looked anyway. I didn't break anything or steal anything, really. Still, Tomitake-san and Takano-san, they died so miserably. Since those two had come to such an end, there's obviously no way it would forgive only me. Rika-chan cutely tilted her head in confusion and waited for me to say something. If I were to admit to what happened that night, though, she might suddenly do a 180 as if flipping a switch. That would make sense. Rika-chan was the shrine maiden. She was the least likely to forgive me for breaking the taboo, wasn't she? Upon reflection, wouldn't telling her be more terrifying than telling Mion or Oishi-san? Are we getting killed by Rika in this? Nah. Nah, that's not gonna happen. Did I miss a trailer? Nah, he's talking about another stream. Rika-chan could just give up and leave, couldn't she? She didn't. She only... was quietly waiting for me to say it myself. Say it, Keiichi Maebara. If you really are sorry, then you should say so. Of course, it's normal to hesitate, given the crazy way Tomitake-san and Takano-san died. A pulping machine called Chaos was grinding up my brain. The juice wrung out of it turned into big droplets of sweat which began to fall. Keiichi. I don't know if I said this before, but why is Rika the only one who calls Keiichi by his name without any honorifics or anything? Like she addresses all people by their first name, right? Even adults. She's like the most mysterious character in the whole series. Oh god. Rika-chan suddenly straightened up, trying to pat me on the head. I don't really understand what you're worried about, Keiichi. I had nothing to say to that. I lowered my head a little. Sorry. So that Rika-chan's palm could reach it. She petted me, kind of like one would a cat. Do you know about the big storehouse a little way behind the shrine grounds? It stores the implements we use for rituals. Yeah. I'm more worried that you know about it, with it being a literal torture house. Like, what? Why are you so nonchalant about all of this? My breath literally stopped. Rika-chan, though, wasn't acting in a coercive way at all. Apparently, on the night of the festival, a cat snuck into the storehouse. A cat? Yes, a cat. Meow meow. Rika-chan knew. She realized I was in fear. I could tell she was desperately trying to choose the right words so that she wouldn't scare me. The cat always wanted to explore inside the storehouse, but I was mean to it and never let it go inside. So, on the night of the festival, the cat couldn't hold itself back any longer and went inside. The cat? It was clearly supposed to be Takano-san. Or wait, was it supposed to be me? No, I think it's Takano. Inside, there were actually a lot of things that scared the cat. Rika-chan made a cute gesture like a ghost was coming out to frighten me. The cat was both terrified and amazed. It ran away as fast as it could. Clatter, clatter, shiver, shiver, meow, meow. It was terrible. This cat, who are you saying it was? The cat is a cat. Meow, meow. Rika-chan still avoided saying it. The cat, though, was without a doubt me. Rika-chan, please tell me. The cat. What should it do now? Maybe it was a desperate question to ask. I had sort of admitted to being the cat. The cat is just a cat, so it can just keep meowing and everything will be fine. Yeah, I wanted to grab Kiriko, but she avoided me. I don't think she's in the mood for being a cute cat. Meow meow. Everything will be fine. That's stupid.
Shouldn't it just keep meowing?
Jeez, Rika-chan and I have put together an entire conversation using cat as a code word. I didn't say it directly, but I'd already admitted it. I didn't want to end up like those two. I didn't want to be a sacrifice like Shion said. That's what I thought, so I stubbornly remained silent. But now, that's enough. It can't just keep meowing. The dog saw the cat, making mischief and sneaking inside.
The dog.
That's right. It was the dog. It keeps coming to the cat and trying to get it to say that it snuck inside. She looks so confused. Maybe she's talking about an actual cat and it's not. What if she's not making some weird what's the word? Kiriko, what are you doing? Like, what if she's actually just talking about a cat? After I said that, Rika-chan's expression clouded over. She was trying to hide it, but I'd already noticed her eyes darkening. Rika-chan. The silence was frightening, so I spurred her on. At that point, Rika-chan grinned.
It's alright. I'll protect the cat.
Huh? I thought for a moment that I had misheard those words, so dependable they were.
The cat is really scared, but it really isn't all that bad. I think all of the dogs are just misunderstanding.
Eh? It's not all that bad?
The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure.
Rika-chan will do something about it? I don't even know left from right at the moment, so Rika-chan didn't look all that dependable.
It might be hard, but I'll do my best. Go for it. Yay!
She clenched her fist and stuck it in the air. Rika-chan said that the cat can just keep meowing. She said to leave it all to her. Is that really all it took to resolve this whole thing? Will you really be alright, Rika-chan?
If I don't do my best, then something bad could happen to the dogs too.
I had no idea what Rika-chan was talking about anymore. Neither do I. She'd been talking to me under the assumption that I was aware of certain things. So at first, I understood her. Around the middle, though, I stopped understanding anything. However, one thing I did know was not to worry and to leave it to her. Rika-chan straightened up once again and patted me on the head and smiled. I was so moved by that reassuring feeling that I couldn't help but start to cry. I'm sorry. The cat, it really was just a little bit of mischief. It didn't think any of this would...
It's too much of a scaredy cat. That's why it should never have seen the storehouse.
It was right. It was far too shocking for someone to see based on a little bit of interest alone. That's why they made it so difficult to look in the first place, wasn't it? Rika-chan, what will happen to the cat? 2 of the cats that snuck in, well, that night I'd heard Tomitake-san and Takano-san's deaths were being kept a secret. Rika-chan might not have known about it.
Tomitake and Takano?
Oh shit! I gave a start at the sudden mention of actual names. Though it's weird to do that at this point.
You should forget about them.
The fuck? My spine froze again. Forget?
Yes. It won't do you any good to remember those two, Keiichi. The more you think about it, the scarier it will get. So you should forget about them as soon as possible.
She said something so enormously terrifying, without letting the smile on her face waver at all.
I don't know where you heard about it from, but you should forget everything. Make your mind as clear as a scrubbed bathtub.
Forget? Rika-chan, you know, don't you? You know how those two died.
No matter how they died, it has nothing to do with you, Keiichi.
Rika declared this in a flat voice. Nothing to do with me. So forget about it. The girl before me, what is it? She was innocent and lovable and even seemed trustworthy, but suddenly she took on another dimension. Don't get involved with their deaths. I'll help you, Keiichi. Those two contradictory statements twisted and distorted my image of the girl in front of me. Dude, what's wrong with the bots today? Rika is the Void herself. I have absolutely no idea anymore who or what Rika is. The bot's back. It's a different one though. Like it's a different one every half hour or something. But she kind of is the Void. Well, yeah, everything went black. What about Shion? What'll happen to her? It might have been dangerous to mention Shion's name, but I couldn't stop myself from asking. Hello, Kiriko. What's up? Oh, okay. Rika-chan saw through everything anyway. There was no way I was going to fool her or keep anything from her at this point.
The younger of the sister cats?
Hello, you are the younger of the sister cats. You want to say hi? Yes. Little baby. You're not actually a baby anymore, but you're still cute like one. Right? Yeah, okay, leave. Meow. Yeah. It's like Rika.
Meow. Meow, meow.
Yeah. The little sister cat. Rika-chan appeared to think upon this for a moment. It was hard for me to endure even this momentary silence.
The big sister cat is angry. The little sister cat did something bad, so she's really mad.
The big sister cat. That could only mean Mion. I recall being questioned by her yesterday.
Keiichi, the big sister cat is not in a good mood at all. I think we should leave her alone for a while.
Not in a good mood? Those words sent shivers through me. Mion was mad. She was mad that we entered the ritual storehouse. Yeah, but that's probably not going to make her murder people, right? Eat the cables? No. Don't listen to Jay.
Let's stop having club from now on.
Huh? Why?
I think we should leave her alone.
Rika-chan ended her sentence with such force that I couldn't say anything in response. Hey, Keiichi Maebara, don't disobey Rika-chan right now. She's the only one who said she'll help me right now. I'll leave things to her, just as she said Dude, are you really that spineless to leave your fate to a 8-year-old girl? Bro, I nearly got spoiled on the boss of patch 2.2. Well, who'd expect that from a live stream? Couldn't be me. I mean, she even said that the cat should just keep meowing. I'll forget everything, like she said. I'll leave everything to her. I'll forget everything about Takano-san and Tomitake-san and what I did that night. Just then, we heard a bell far away, marking the end of our lunch break. I guess we should go back to class. Keiichi. As if she had noticed how miserable I was, about to leave everything to her and flee the scene, Rika-chan called out to stop me. If the misunderstanding dog comes to try and bite the cat, please tell me, okay? The misunderstanding dog. She put it in such a cute-sounding way, but the true meaning behind those words was an eerie one. Who is the misunderstanding dog? The dog that bit the mayor. I don't know why it did that. If it was going to bite anyone, it would have been the trickster cat first. The flow of blood in my body felt like it completely stopped for a moment. Rika-chan had admitted it. The sacrifices of that terrible calamity, she admitted that if they were to happen again, it would be Shion or I. I didn't know what was true about the girl standing before me. My suspicion gave way to fear and nearly began to change into anger. Was she a savior? A savior who would protect me? Or a stranger trying to capture and kill me for the sake of a horrible tradition? I had no idea what was true. I'm sorry. The cat is already scared, and I said something to scare it even more. I'm really sorry. Rika-chan bowed so quickly it looked like her head had been pulled downward. Still, she was right. I was cowering. I could distinctly feel my body shaking violently. So when Rika-chan reached her hand out to pat me on the head, I pulled away without thinking. Rika-chan made a very sad face, but I just couldn't bring myself to put out my head for her again. So, what the hell happened just now? I have to have it muted so I can't hear you. Keiichi is such a pussy. He is! I want to get to the end of main story before I watch these. Well, the thing is, it always also spoils the main story for the people who are caught up, because they just do not care to show bosses for the upcoming patches in the trailers. So you always get spoiled if you don't avoid social media completely. That day, Rika-chan said she wasn't feeling up for club activities, so she suggested we don't bother. There's always vetoes when someone doesn't feel up to it. Rena and the others seemed really disappointed. The big sister cat is not in a good mood. I remembered Rika-chan's words and quietly stole a glance at Mion's expression. If I could forget the way she questioned me yesterday, though, her behavior was the same as it always was. Yeah, I don't know about that, Chief. I'm not so sure. So, let's recapitulate a little. So, the whole thing seemed to imply that Mion is not the one who killed people or also who abducted the mayor, because when Rika talked about her, she said that she's the big sister cat, and the one who was responsible was a dog, right? I recommend pulling for Robin. Yeah, I told you, she's probably very good for new accounts, because she from what I heard, she seems very easy to build, and probably also pretty strong and universal. So, good idea. After dinner, without the energy to watch TV, I climbed into the futon in my bedroom and let my head be overtaken by gloomy thoughts. I told Rika-chan anything and everything. She had seemed trustworthy at the time, but had that really been the right choice? The more I looked back on it, the less I understood what Rika-chan was saying. Not only did she know about Takano-san and Tomitake-san's deaths, but she spoke of them as if she were a concerned party. After all this time, in my futon, I began to tremble fiercely. Had I been lured in by Rika-chan's sweet smile and told her things I shouldn't have? Well, what exactly did you tell her that you shouldn't have when she literally knows everything that happened? Keiichi always seems to think he has some, like, he knows something that nobody else knows about, but he's like, he knows nothing, right? Everything that he might know, everybody else already knows. In this game, he didn't even really talk to Oishi much, so he doesn't know shit. In the last game, he at least had that advantage, that he knew the police proceedings and stuff. I should have continued to feign ignorance. I shouldn't have shown her such a weak side of me. My emotions are a mix of regret and fear, and it colored the darkness of the night with an additional layer of terror. Suddenly a knock. I might have yelped. That's how surprised I was. How did I voice Keiichi's dad again? Keiichi! I've been calling your name for a while. You have a phone call. It's from Sonozaki-san. Oh shit. It was Dad. I reached out for the cordless phone through the gap in my door. Sonozaki-san? Which one? The older sister or the younger? I don't know. Ask her yourself. Wow. His dad's completely non-bullshit. I took the receiver and buried myself into my futon again. Hello? Mion? Or is it Shion? It's me, Shion. Good evening. I practically jumped out of bed. It was Shion, who I hoped so desperately would call me back last night. Shion, I'm sorry about last night. I got all riled up. I heard what sounded like a deep sigh on the other end. You and me are in the same position, aren't we? I shouldn't have blamed you for everything like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, so please, cheer up. I called you because I'm in a better mood. If you're sorry, then I'll forgive you, so please stop apologizing. Shion's tone still sounded a little angry, but for the moment she said she'd forgive me. You're right, too. We're tied to the same fate. Making sure the other is alright is the only way to guarantee our own safety. Yeah, I agree. We absolutely need to share whatever information we have, so that we don't die like Takano-san and Tomitake-san did. I forced myself to swallow a solid drop of saliva. Then, let's continue from where we left off. You'll listen without getting angry this time, right? Yeah, I'll be fine.
Firstly, it seems sneaking into the ritual warehouse was more of a taboo than we thought. Takano-san and Tomitake-san's miserable ends, terrible enough that you could call them a warning, they were more than enough to make me believe that. The culprits killed those two, the ones responsible for sullying the storehouse, and they'll come for us next. We'd Oh, is it because of the statue? Because Oyashiro-sama, because it's like Oyashiro-sama's house? So it's kind of like breaking into a church? Is that the idea? I know you want to deny that, but please accept it. It'll be too late to believe me after you've disappeared, okay? I got it. You can never be too careful after all. I don't want to accept it either. To think that sneaking a peek at that museum of torture devices deserves death like that, I don't want to believe it. That's what a taboo is. For those who honor it, if one breaks the taboo, no matter how small or innocent their intentions were, they wouldn't be forgiven. Let's report anything we notice that seems strange. If we connect all the tiny pieces that we have, then just maybe we'll find out who killed them, or maybe even the truth behind the incidents of the previous years. We could find the key that'll solve everything. You're right. You're right about that. All I was doing was waiting in fear, but Shion had already thought that far ahead. Given how trustworthy she felt, I became embarrassed over how passive I was being. Then I'll start, since I suggested it. I feel like somebody has been watching me lately. What? It might be my imagination, but I'll tell you anyway. I think it's just me, but if you feel like you're being watched too, Kei-chan, then... Can the bots please stop? This is getting annoying. Maybe it's not just my imagination. Well, don't worry. At the very least, everything's been fine for me, I think. As I spoke with Shion, I thought back on today. I had no grounds to say that everything was fine. I see. Then I suppose it was my imagination, but you be careful too, Kei-chan. Be especially careful when you're by yourself in public. I'm in Okinomiya, so I won't be alone very often, but you live in Hinamizawa. There will be a lot of times you'll be alone. Please be extra careful. You're right. Yeah, I'll be careful. Also, about my sister, has she been acting strange lately? Your sister? Oh, Mion, right. What do you mean by acting strangely? Well, yesterday, she came to me and asked me where I was on the night of Watanagashi. What? That's... She asked me too. The day before yesterday, I think, Mion asked me... What is it? You want to go outside? Or not? Yes? Just give me a second. Alright. There we go. I see. I told her I wasn't there. What did you say? I did the same thing. I just dodged the question. Both of us gave a quiet sigh of relief. Ever since the night of the festival, my sister has been acting strangely. We can't be too careful, so just be aware, okay? Mion was acting strangely. Aside from her asking me about the night of Watanagashi, she hadn't seemed too out of the ordinary, at least from my point of view. Her twin sister, though, was saying she was acting weird. Maybe it was such a slight change that a stranger like me wouldn't be able to notice.
got it. I'll start being careful. I'll always have Rena with me on my way back from school, so I shouldn't end up alone with Mion very often. Please, be careful. If there's anything that's bothering you, you can tell me. Alright. Oh, is he gonna tell her about the whole Rika-chan thing? Okay, then is there anything you want to tell me, Kei-chan? My turn. That's right, maybe I should report on Oishi-san asking me the same question at the library. Oh, that time you were too slow to escape? Yeah. Oishi-san asked me pretty forcefully whether I was with Takano-san and Tomitake-san that night and whether I had seen you. Oishi-san seemed to have seen the four of us together. From the police's point of view, that would make us the last people who had seen them. I suppose, given that, it's only natural that they'd be interested in us. I evaded the question then too, but that might have just made them more interested. There was no way I could have tricked that sly old fox, Oishi-san. My troubled countenance would have only made him more certain. Hey, Shion, since they're the police, shouldn't we just tell them? I mean, considering our situation, I think having them on our side would be a good thing. Shion didn't answer right away. For a few moments, all I could hear was her breathing as she thought about it. Now that I think of it, Oishi-san said there was something possibly shady about Mion. At least, I think that's what he said. Yeah, he definitely did. As I explained yesterday, the Sonozaki family holds a lot of influence over Hinamizawa. Oishi is under the impression that the whole village, with the Sonozaki family at the center of it all, is responsible for the recurrent freak deaths. I think that's you. There's Freakler. The whole village is behind them, with the Sonozaki family at the center? Please don't get angry like you did yesterday and just listen. I hammered that home before I got too upset. During the Hinamizawa Dam Wars, the priest who everyone was anticipating to lead the anti-dam movement acted as though he were unrelated, so the Sonozaki main house rose up to take charge. My sister told you about all the battles that happened, right? Yeah. All of Hinamizawa got together and fought as one. They held protests, brought it to court, and even appeared on TV. In reality, there were many things that happened that were far more extreme. Under the surface, the Sonozaki main house was doing all sorts of illegal things to oppose it. They were acting illegally? For example, they would sneak into the construction site in the middle of the night and steal equipment, or break it, or put sugar cubes in the gasoline tanks of the construction vehicles. Doesn't that literally break them? Gee, okay. Sugar in their gasoline tanks? Why would they... You don't know? It's practically the representative guerrilla tactic. It was used by underground organizations in France in World War II for one. When you put sugar in, the engine gets burned out and breaks down. That's pretty bad though, isn't it? Doesn't that spark? No, I think it just... Like, I don't think there's any potential for explosion. It just breaks down the fuel. It was destruction of property and nothing less. When they beefed up the guard at the construction facility, the family turned to attacking important construction personnel who worked there. The government officials who had given permission for the constructions, for example, received all kinds of threats. Not just people from the prefectural office either. Apparently this reached as far as the Ministry of Construction. That's in Tokyo. As far as I've heard, they even kidnapped a child once. Holy shit, what is wrong with that family? Kidnapped? Yes, the child of an important person in the Ministry of Construction who was in charge of the Hinamizawa Dam got spirited away. Then one day, all of a sudden, he was rescued in the Takatsudo Mountains, which are upstream from Hinamizawa. Wait. If he got spirited away, but was rescued, does that mean that they keep their victims alive and don't throw them in the swamp? Or was he just able to be rescued because it was before the whole curse thing started? Yeah, sounds like them. Yeah, it's a freaking Yakuza family through and through. Apparently, there were never any criminal accusations, but people whispered that it had been a threat to stop the dam construction from happening. Besides that, there are stories about so many different threats that I couldn't possibly list them all. Why does she know about that? Wow, that's sort of bad, isn't it? It's actually really bad. Right in the middle of the whole thing, the first incident happened. That's when the dismemberment of the construction manager occurred. People whispered that the Sonozaki family had bought out the principal offender, but of course he fled and they still haven't found him. When she put it like that, the Sonozaki family definitely seems suspicious. Yeah, but isn't she part of that family? Why does she know so little? Oishi-san even seems to think that the criminal was erased so he wouldn't talk, which is pretty reasonable of him. It's even enough to make me think that the Sonozaki main house is doing some really shady things behind the scenes, even though I'm related to them. Oh, it's because she's not part of the main house. Oh god, I'm sorry. Are you telling me to believe that? That the Sonozaki main house where Mion lives have done all sorts of bad things? You're telling me to believe it? Thank you, Jay. There's a reason for her lack of knowledge, probably because she doesn't live in the main house, right? So she's kind of excluded. Maybe even on purpose, I don't know. Thank you, Dizilly. Thank you both. Even if you don't, Kei-chan, the villagers do. While they oppose the dam in upright and lawful ways, the Sonozaki house did the dirty work for them. Everyone believes that they fought at the front, so they take the brunt of the criticism, so they're respected as sort of heroes of darkness. I think I only really know one part of it. For example, the really bad stuff like the kidnapping, I think only a handful of people even know about it, including Grandma. The Sonozaki family is secretive after all. Secretive, huh? A family so unforthcoming that even Shion, who is related to them, doesn't know everything about them. The Sonozaki family. Unlike Shion, her older twin Mion was deeply involved with everything, and that was not a fun thought to entertain. My sister, though young, was the one who acted as the center of the illegal resistance movement. Mion was? What do you mean? Well, our dad is a big shot Yakuza, I told you. I told you. Even when she was little, my sister managed to subjugate a bunch of young street rats. Then she played all sorts of tricks on them and just generally got in their way. Mion did that? Now, she's pretty laid back, so it might be hard to imagine. She did everything from property damage to threats and even acts of violence, and she was picked up for it countless times. Though, since she was a kid, they could get her released pretty easily. Wait, so they used... Wait, what? Let me get this straight. So Mion was basically used by the family to to do all sorts of illegal shit because she couldn't get arrested for it? Or did she do it on her own, basically? Yes, they had a child as the figurehead of their violent protests. Wait. Okay, Mion is... If we go by my definition of the Japanese high school system, she'd be around 16 or 17 now. Let's be generous and say 17. And the whole damn thing started like 5 to 6 years ago, right? The first murder was 5 years ago, so the damn thing probably started a bit earlier, maybe a year. Let's say 6 years. So she would have been 12 or 11. She's 17. Okay, yeah, okay, so she's 11. She was around 11 or 12 years old when she was literally leading a mob for political reasons. That girl is fucking dangerous. I don't want to go near her again. Keep her away from us, please. Oh my god. Now I get why Shion is scared. 12, her birthday is in February. Okay. Imagine she's like the violent version of Greta Thunberg. She'll shank you. She'll do more than shank me. She learned that her age could be used as a weapon. I'll just let that stand like that. Just give me 1 second, I gotta blow my nose. I'm gonna discuss the multitude of ways this could be interpreted. It may have been indiscreet, but I couldn't help but chuckle dryly. The 1 billion IQ strat. She's way too smart, yeah. She may have been young, but she was certainly still Mion. Even back then, she had already been known for her craftiness. It's nothing to laugh about. Please, take this seriously. Sorry, I didn't mean to... Shion had gotten pretty angry at me. Well, her delinquency soon got her into a position of authority in the Sonozaki main house. It's not unthinkable that Oishi suspects them for the dismemberment incidents and the later ones too. Wait, is she implying that Mion, that a 12-year-old girl was responsible for making people dismember somebody? For a few moments, I was dumbstruck at the tales of Mion's past. Did I hear meow? Wait, did you actually hear that? Yeah, she's standing in front of the door and she wants in again. But I can't, like, let her in every 2 minutes. None of them matched the image I had of her. A younger Mion, dirtying her hands with all sorts of crimes, giving the damn construction project hell. As the successor to the Sonozaki main family, she was always right at the center of the vortex of strange incidents occurring year after year. Was that really the Mion I know? Maybe the one I know isn't the real Mion. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't bring myself to accept these images of Mion I was hearing from another person. Well, back to the main subject. I just wanted you to know that my sister is someone worth being cautious around. Please, be careful. I didn't want to understand. Mion was a fantastic friend. She would never do something to back me into a corner like that. She did ask me pretty harshly about the night of the festival, but even that, it wasn't like she said it in a mean way or anything. Alright, I'll make sure to be careful. We're sisters related by blood, but within the Sonozaki family, we're basically of a different class. I want you to recognize how distant my position is from hers. Please. The more Shion tells me about Mion, the less I understand who Mion is. The Mion I know wasn't a dangerous person. Oh, welcome back, Dink. You missed a lot. She joked around, smiled a lot, and was full of passion. Now that I'd realized I held such a view towards her, Shion was telling me to change it. To be careful around the best friend ever. To down her. The idea was very sad and painful. Now, about Oishi. If you think it's a good idea, then I think we should give him the information he needs. I think getting the police on our side will work in our favor. You thought so too, Shion. It's just, at the moment, like I explained, the police have their eyes on the Sonozaki family already. Oishi in particular completely believes that they're the masterminds behind the serial incidents. That includes me, of course, so I don't really want much to do with Oishi. I see. If Oishi had found out about the Sonozaki family's strife-filled history, then he probably wouldn't be very happy with Shion either. At least, I understood Mion's instinctive dislike for Oishi-san. It's probably out in the open at this point, but try not to give my name to him. If you agree to that, I don't think there's a problem with you telling him anything. I got it. I won't mention your name. The police's investigative ability should be quite a reliable weapon for us right now. If Oishi-san tells you anything interesting, then let me know as well. Yeah, of course. We'll share information and investigate together. Who killed Takano-san and Tomitake-san? Who was after us? Until we know, we need to defend ourselves. Anything else? Besides what Oishi-san told you, I mean. If anything has happened, no matter how minor, please tell me. Aside from my discussion with Oishi-san, Eureka. Oh, should I tell her that I revealed everything to Rika-chan? Rika-chan was acting like she knew something I didn't. She told me to leave it to her. But what? Ah, that's right. When I was talking to her, I mentioned Shion's name too. Was that a mistake? I felt like Shion would get angry. Nothing else? Kei-chan? I had remained quiet for a little while, so Shion encouraged me to speak, unable to bear the silence. As I struggled with what to say, Shion addressed me instead. It doesn't sound like it, so can I ask you something? I just heard this myself. Is it true that Old Man Kimiyoshi went missing? The Old Man Kimiyoshi? My gut told me that was the name of the mayor. You mean the mayor? Wait, Shion, you haven't heard? I don't know anything. I just overheard my dad talking about it on the phone again. I realized I shouldn't have said that. Here in Hinamizawa, the things that happen around this time, when Oyashiro-sama's curse would recur, would all be covered up. Yeah, actually, last night after a meeting, he didn't come home, so all of Hinamizawa was confused. They searched all through the village, but if they found him, then I haven't heard. The police should be searching for him as well. Why didn't you tell me something that important right away? She shouted angrily at me, bringing all her emotion to bear. Sorry, I thought you already knew. I didn't want to hide it or anything. The receiver was silent. Did Shion get mad again and hang up? Hey, Shion, hello? Kei-chan, what should I do? Shion's tiny, confused voice sounded like it belonged to a different person than the one yelling a few seconds ago. What's wrong? Tell me. Oh no. Okay, I've got a pretty good hunch. Ah yes, old man in the woods. How long will he survive? Okay, before we go further, did Shion tell Kimiyoshi about everything that happened? Like, did she confide in him? And that's why he's become a victim? Does that mean Rika will also become a victim? Because they will then, like, Kimiyoshi was also in a pretty high position, right? So they probably try to talk to the village, to the Sonozakis, and then they got offed. Oh no, don't kill Rika. I like her. She's a bit creepy, but I like her. What's wrong? Tell me. We're not keeping secrets from each other, right? Shion hesitated for a long while, but then she confessed. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hide it. It was just that, well, the conversation got turned around and we're on the same side, right? I won't get mad, so tell me honestly. Shion still hesitated for a few moments. Then, in a resigned voice, she continued, Old man Kimiyoshi, I told him everything. There we go. Well, shit. So Rika's dead. Shion seemed to think I would yell at her right after she said that, so I heard her catching her breath. Contrary to what she thought, I was a little relieved. Shion had done the same thing I had when I confessed everything to Rika-chan. Yeah, but do you realize what that means? So, in as gentle a voice as I could, so not to set her off, I responded, Old man Kimiyoshi, he's someone you feel comfortable confiding to, Shion? Yes, he would. When I was little, he was really nice to me. Shion felt the same pain as the rest of us from the mayor's disappearance. She had a different kind of strength from Mion, and as she continued, her voice sounded truly sad and pained. All I did was play tricks on him, but he would always just smile. He listened to anything I had to say. He was such a kind person. Calm down, Shion. It's not like he's dead, right? Don't lose heart so easily. Shion didn't answer. Even as I said it myself, I didn't think we'd ever find the missing mayor again. We probably wouldn't even figure out if he was alive or dead. Shion must have been thinking the same thing. That night, I told the mayor that we snuck into the ritual storehouse. Also that someone saw us and was out to get us. Does the mayor know how absurdly Takano-san and Tomitake-san died? Yes, he knew about it. I told him that they died by Oyashiro-sama's curse and that I could be made sacrifice to calm his anger. I just said it straight out. Right. What then? Old man Kimiyoshi didn't get angry. He smiled, then told me that if I was properly sorry about it, there was no way I'd be demoned away. He was really smiling and told me to leave it to him. Until Shion stopped sobbing, I was unable to find any words for her. I couldn't imagine what kind of person the mayor was, nor what Shion's relationship with him was like. Words of comfort, however, mean so much to us when we're about to be crushed by anxiety. Today, Rika-chan taught me that too. Oh, are you gonna notice? If someone who gave me such a sense of security were to disappear, are you gonna notice? Then I could guess what kind of shock Shion was in. It's my fault. Because I revealed everything. Stop it, Shion. It's not your fault. No, it's my fault. I told him everything. Old man Kimiyoshi found out about everything. So he has to have been killed. It was right after I told him, after all. He disappeared the same night that I confessed, and he told me everything was going to be all right. He found out, so he became involved. I should never have told him. All of this should have just been our fault, only the four of us. It wasn't something I should have told somebody else. He got killed because I told him. He got killed because he knew. He got killed because I revealed it. Hey, stop. If they were doing that, then they would obviously have killed you before killing the mayor. The order is all wrong. You or I should have been killed first. Why the hell would someone else get killed first? No, it is in order. They must be planning to kill us last of all. Huh? What? They're not killing the first people who come to mind. They start by killing those we're close to, and then after they've caused us so much pain, they'll kill us. That must be what they're doing. I said calm down. Shion, you're in shock. You're panicking. The mayor's disappearance had nothing to do with you. It's unconnected. It's not related to Takano-san and Tomitake-san dying at all either. My words came out as a scream, as if I was shouting them at myself. No! It is connected. It just has to be. I told him, so he was killed. He got killed because he knew. I confessed it to him, so he got killed. She repeated the same thing as before, as though she were in delirium. Despite me trying to console the crazed Shion, for some reason the shadow at my feet began to freeze. Oh, is he finally gonna notice that you told Rika-chan everything and she told you she'd take care of it? So, chances of Rika being in the middle of being killed right now would not be so far off, right? OMG, what did I come back to? I told you missed a lot. From that shadow, a cold arm reached out. So cold, it seemed like it would freeze even my heart just by touching me, and grabbed my ankle. The heat generated by my body, the arm was absorbing it. It was a horrible chill, a freezing cold, numbingly frigid. It was an inviolable chill of fear. Though I sympathized with Shion, I had been naive in thinking it was something only she had to worry about. In my head, Shion's eerie words repeated again and again. He was killed because I told him. He was killed because he found out. I confessed everything. Oh. So he was killed. Those words echoed through my head like a monotone mantra, and finally, those even repetitions took on meaning. Oh, he finally got it. Well, that took a while. The quiet shaking that had already overtaken me turned into a violent shiver that shot up my spine. Rika-chan! It's Rika-chan! What? What did you say just now? I will... The truth is, I told her about it. I told Rika-chan today. Rika-chan? You mean Rika-chama? The one from Furude Shrine? Yes, Rika-chan. I felt so scared and uneasy that I did it. I told Rika-chan. When you did, what did you say? The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure. That's what Rika-chan said, and then she smiled. She smiled, just like the missing mayor had when he encouraged Shion. Wait, did Rika-chan kill a cat? No. Look, Rika and Keiichi talked to Rika And because Keiichi wouldn't admit that he went into the storehouse, Rika basically made an analogy of a cat breaking into the storehouse and now being a scaredy cat. So basically she was talking about Keiichi in a way that allowed Keiichi to answer her truthfully without exposing himself. So all the cat stuff basically relates to Keiichi. I'm sorry, Shion. I'm worried about Rika-chan. Ah, right. If you're that concerned, then don't worry about me. Please go find out whether she's safe. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll call you again tomorrow at the same time. When I do, you'll know I'm still alright. I got it. I'll be waiting. Okay, bye. Sorry, I'm hanging up. I put down the receiver without waiting for Shion to say goodbye. The danger to Shion and myself was secondary at this point. My sixth sense was blaring alarms in my head. I don't like this feeling. It's really bad. It's definitely bad. Damn it, please be safe, Rika-chan. So what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna... Just gonna... like... go to her house? Now in the middle of the night? Save. Okay, that was... yeah, it's getting actually... it's kind of getting crazy. Okay. So this was the end of chapter 9. Right? Let me check something real quick. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 achievements left, which means that the game has probably 12-ish chapters. Right? We've got about 15, maybe 30 minutes left that I can stream. Should we start the next chapter or should we stop for today? I kind of want to keep going. Ah, Shift got unlucky. That sucks. The thing is, I want to... if I could, I'd like to finish the game. I'd like to finish the game by next Friday. Nah, don't start. Keep going. Shift used all of his stellar jade. Well, you still got about 1.5 weeks to get Aventurine. I just don't want you to be late with your obligations. Oh, it's fine. She'll call me when she's ready. So, and the game has saving inside chapters, right? I can just stop whenever. We should have Higurashi stream week. You mean stream every day? I don't think people would survive that mentally. Okay, let's keep going. Hello? I click continue. After hanging up on Shion, I searched for Rika-chan's phone number on my school's contact list. I wouldn't be able to tune in. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm purposefully doing this on Friday so people have a good chance of actually catching the streams. There it is. My fingers trembled with urgency and I failed multiple times to put in the simple 5-digit number. Yeah, that happens when you try to call a girl. Hey, Chi. Are you calling someone at this hour? It's late, and it's being rude to the other person. That doesn't matter right now. I shouted angrily at my mother, listening to the dial tone. Pick up, come on, pick up. Why is it ringing in their house? The time was 11 p.m. It certainly wasn't early. It was essentially in the middle of the night. Had Rika-chan already gone to bed? Her phone would be ringing constantly though, so would she get back up for me? Rika-chan didn't pick up. She didn't pick up. She didn't pick up! Maybe she just happened to miss it. Maybe her bed was just too far away from the phone. The sound of a phone ringing gets clearer and clearer the longer you go on sleeping. Then, the bathroom? Yeah, she must be taking a bath. If that was the case, then even if she heard the phone, she wouldn't be able to pick up. It was a little late to be taking a bath, but it was possible she normally took baths right before going to bed. I'll wait 30 minutes, then try calling again. Even as I was thinking that, I called her house over and over again. I kept calling. Over and over, again and again, I kept calling her, but she didn't pick up even once. I think I kept trying for about 30 minutes, yet she wasn't picking up. Where are her parents? Were my phone calls so persistent that she had gotten scared of picking up the receiver? It's close to 11 here. Perfect. Now if your phone starts ringing, be scared. No, that couldn't possibly be it. There was no point in doing this any longer. The best thing to do would be to go there in person. Where was Rika-chan's house though? Shit, I've never even asked her where she lived. Her residence was written there in the contact list, but it was an address with mostly numbers, so I couldn't tell where it was by just reading it. Isn't there a map or something in here? Rika Furude. Her last name was Furude. Wasn't the shrine called Furude? It was a bit of an odd last name, so it might be easy to find. Thinking that, I rummaged around the drawer with the phone book, but could only find things like takeout menus and phone numbers for public establishments. Shit. I tore one thing after another out of the drawer, but I didn't come up with any clues as to where Rika-chan's house was. How about you ask your parents? Just an idea. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. If you don't know, then just ask. Ask someone who does know. Or... yeah, Rena. So why is he trying to find Rika-chan's house? Because he thinks she's being killed. Because the person Mion, the person Shion talked to confided in about the mistakes she made by breaking into the shrine. That was Kimiyoshi, the mayor, and then the next day the mayor went missing and they haven't found him since. And on that day, Keiichi did the same thing with Rika, so now he thinks that Rika is about to be killed. Ah, that's it. Rena's gotta know. She confided in the mayor? Yep. I looked up Rena's phone number on the contact list. Rena Ryugu. There she was. Sorry for missing so much. Don't worry about it. Oh, Rena's dad. Rena has a dad? Shit, I thought they all lived by themselves. What voice do I give Rena's dad? Do I try to go for the German English voice? I could do that. Maybe he's a bad dad, and that would fit very well. Wait, other parents exist? No, it's usually just the main character. Okay. So I'll be trying to go for, like, you know how Germans are often portrayed in English movies, talking very bad English with a thick accent. I'll be trying for that, but since I am a German with not that accent, it might be hard to replicate. So I don't know if I can get it down spontaneously. Hello? This is Ryugu? It was the voice of a grumpy-sounding man. It must have been Rena's father. I'm calling in the middle of the night. I need to be polite. I'm sorry for calling so late at night. This is Maebara. Is there any chance Rena-san is around? Reina is taking a bath. Oh, she's done? Rena, there's a friend of yours on the phone. Oh, right. Reina Ryugu was her real name, wasn't it? Wait, what? Her real name? Wait, is she using an alias? Why? And it's so similar as well. It's not even like a nickname or anything. It's just, she just dropped the I. I'd gotten so used to calling her Rena that hearing her real name caught me a little off guard. I think that was covered in the last game, was it? I don't remember. Hello? This is Rena. It's me, Keiichi. Sorry for calling so late. Huh? Keiichi-kun? What do you need at a time like this? Well, actually, I wanted to know where Rika-chan's house is. Rena seemed a little appalled that I call her for something like that at this hour. However, she spoke her next words seriously, as if she caught on to how urgent my need was. I do? Okay. Well then, maybe I'm just forgetful. Okay. Sure. You know the assembly hall on the grounds on the further shrine? There's a 2-story shack used for storage behind it. That's where she lives. Why? There's a 2-story shack used for storage behind it. That's where she lives. She lives in a shack? What the fuck? Why? And it's not even like, yeah, so they remodeled the shack, and it's now her house. She literally says it's used for storage, and she lives in that. Does anyone in this series have a normal life? And she says it like it's no big deal. Yeah, she lives in a shack. Also, why does she have a phone if she lives in a shack? Couldn't immediately visualize the place as long as I knew she lived on the shrine grounds, I just have to take a look around. Got it. Thanks. Sorry again for calling so late. Apologize to your dad for me too, would you? Okay, but Keiichi, why do you want to know where Rika-chan lives? Rena asked in an unusually sharp way, halting me before I could hang up the phone. I hesitated for a moment about whether to tell her. He was killed because I told him. Keiichi-kun? If you're still listening, could you answer me? Why are you asking where Rika-chan lives at a time like this? Rena affected her usual tone, but beneath her words lay a certain tension, like she intuitively sensed something was going on. What will you do, Keiichi? Is he gonna be smart and actually tell her for the first time? Inoji, you played that Otaku Cafe segment. Everyone in this town is far past normal. Fair point. Is she homeless? I don't think so. She's revered by the... Oh, wait a second. Are the villagers like treating her like they're treating her with a lot of respect, right? Is this like a she's the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, so she has to live in a shrine? Well, if he tells her to, Rena would die. I don't think so. Like if he tells her now and they actually go out and do something against it together and don't be alone, I think they could they could probably fix it. If it's Rena, can't I tell her? He was killed because he found out. I revealed everything, so he was killed. Keiichi-kun? Rena is being serious. Please answer me. Rena asked me once again in a tone so forceful I couldn't imagine her ever using it normally. I was taken aback by her vigor. Rena was Rika-chan's friend too. She had the right to be concerned about Rika-chan disappearing. If I told Rena, then, even if only for a moment, I could drive away my horrifying fears. Rena, well, I can't exactly tell you why, but... Yes? Rena's tone was seriousness itself. Just from that tone, I could feel her saying, no matter what you say, Cage-kun, I believe you. That subtle sense of security gave me the courage to reveal the truth. I have a feeling that Rika-chan is in danger. You mean like a premonition? Or do you have some reason to believe she's in danger? I really didn't have time to go back and forth with Rena about this. Still, I think listening to her calm voice soothed my pointless impatience. I don't have much reason, but yet I still hesitated. I had told Rika-chan that we had snuck into the ritual storehouse. The mayor, to whom Shion had confessed before that, had already disappeared. So it was possible that Rika-chan also... I didn't know how to explain it to Rena. While I was tongue-tied, Rena spoke up. Sorry for asking something so weird. I thought about it and it isn't like you need to be sure. Rena laughed a little, seeming a bit absent-minded. I wasn't exactly in the mood to laugh, so this time I was dumbfounded. Rena continued in a cheerful yet still purposeful voice. You're worried about a friend. I don't think you need a reason to go and check on them. Even if Rika-chan was asleep and you ended waking her up, if that was why you did it, then none of us would get mad. Rena, thank you. Okay then, Keiichi-kun, just one thing. You called Rika-chan's house, right? Then you just couldn't get through, so that's why you asked me where her house is? Yeah, that's right. I must have called her for over 10 minutes. She could just be sleeping and not have noticed. Rika-chan's house is really small. Yeah, it's a shack. She would definitely hear the phone ringing even if she was asleep. Sadako-chan is there too. Why? Why is she there? Time doesn't exist in Hinamizawa. Logic doesn't exist. Keiichi stop mumbling about and get off the damn phone? They both live in the shack together. Why the fuck is Sadako there as well? Huh? Sadako? You mean she's living with Rika-chan? Yeah, you didn't know? Well, we can talk about that later. Anyway, if you called that much and no one answered, then something's definitely wrong. Rena understood that the situation wasn't normal far faster than I could have ever imagined her to. It made her seem dependable. However, the fact that Rena had acknowledged this also meant that the best case possibility of it all just being the result of my own needless fears went out the window. Oh, Sadako is there. You know what? Just let Rika die. It ain't worth it. Nuh-uh. Like, okay. Don't be like that. Like, look, Sadako is trying to help us. So not Sadako, Rika. Right? I mean, if they're actually in danger, we can just negotiate and let the villagers take Sadako or something. But I don't want Rika to die. That would not be cool. I'll go to Rika-chan's house right now. Will you come with me? I can show you the way. Sounds good. Let's meet up at the same place as usual. I'll be waiting for you. No, wait. I'll come get you at your house. You just wait there and tell your family you're coming with me to Rika-chan's house, okay? Will that be okay? We might lose time if you come here. Did you call Mi-chan too? She's really dependable at times like these. I would not do that. If you haven't, then I'll give her a call. My thoughts froze for a moment. Shion had just told me to be careful around Mion during our phone conversation a little while ago. If the Sonozaki main house was somehow lurking behind the surface of the annual freight deaths, then the current heir to the family, Mion, wouldn't be uninvolved. So, wouldn't that mean she wasn't uninvolved in what happened this year to Takano-san and Tomitake-san, and also the mayor's disappearance? Okay, bye. I'll be right over. Wait for me. That's all Rena said before hurriedly hanging up. Now wasn't the time to be doubting Mion. I needed to make sure Rika-chan was safe. I got changed and grabbed the key to my bike. I figured things would go more smoothly if we met up in the place we usually do before school. She just told you that you should just wait at your fucking house. If you get murdered while waiting, that's your own fault, bro. You can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs. And I'm gonna make the mother of all omelets. You're gonna make a Sadako omelet? It's disgusting, dude. My parents would probably have objected if I told them I was leaving, so I creeped out without a word. The night was unusually warm and disagreeably humid. She said that Rika-chan and Sadako-chan lived together, right? Then it wasn't only Rika-chan, Sadako wasn't there either? Realizing what them living together really meant caused my thoughts to immediately take a turn for the worse. That can't be. Sadako is... She's got nothing to do with any of this. That's the good part. Even if there were a reason for Rika-chan to have disappeared, there shouldn't be one for Sadako. Oh, okay. There she is. We still don't know what it is, but I find her normal everyday outfit with the little hat and everything, it's super cute. Sadako was the murderer. Imagine if that was true. Like, her using some sort of poison or a drug wouldn't even be that far off, right? It makes sense. It literally actually makes sense. Damn. Yeah, we'll roll with that for now. Sadako is actually the murderer. Okay, but I'd say this is actually a pretty good place to stop, right? Because I gotta go, and it's tense, but we finished the last scene at least. Didilia has been screwing with us this whole time, saying, oh, she gets redeemed in the third game. Yeah, maybe she gets redeemed by not existing in the third game anymore. Wouldn't that be something? And actually, she's revealed to be the killer in the third game. Okay, I gotta say something about that. If they actually reveal the killer in the third game, if it's the same one every time, that would be kind of shitty, seeing how there's like 375 games in this series. I expect... Yeah, but the third game is the one with Sadako on it. Yeah, there it is. Why I can't... I can't even... Look at that. Ugh. Look at that. Ooh, why the fuck do they do that to the little girl? Oh, look, this is short. This only has 8 achievements. Why? Okay. And then we have one with Shion on it. Wait, who's the Yakuza? I kind of spoiled myself with the trading cards, but if that is Shion's dad, then holy shit, we got something to do. Press the install button on the third game and you're cursed forever. No, thank you. Not yet. Trails in the Sky stream? You mean this? Yeah, I remember I gotta uninstall this. Okay. Alright, yeah, as I said, that Shion game is gonna be freaky as fuck. That Shion game is gonna be the best thing in the whole world. I'm so looking forward to chapter 5. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. I hope you had a decent time. I will be starting Elden Ring next Wednesday, as most of you have probably already guessed. from me installing it and us finishing Subnautica last stream. So that will be fun. I'm very much looking forward to that. So I hope you guys are as well. Oh, that's a Wednesday game? Well, if you don't want me to switch Higurashi to Wednesday and then play Elden Ring on Fridays, then there's no real way we can make it work otherwise. As sorry as I am, I gotta do one of the games on Wednesday. I can't, like, you know, it's gotta be that way. We'll see how we do the streams after we finish Higurashi. Hopefully next week, but honestly, with how much we still gotta go, I kind of don't think it's gonna happen. But we'll see. All right. Thanks. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on next Wednesday for Elden Ring and a lot of death. Maybe. I'll probably bring back the death counter as well. And should I do the dying doing a push-up thing? Maybe I should. We'll see. Goodbye. Should switch to ending.